Hello and welcome to Dishing Delights. My name is Jenica and today I'm going to share with you 2 of this week's simple dinners made with some ground venison that I pulled from my freezer. Let's get to it. Alright, sometimes I'll just grab a random church cookbook when I know that I'm going to use like a traditional Midwest recipe. So I'm just going to make sure that this cookbook has meatloaf. Yep, 2 meatloaf recipes. Ooh, and a salmon patty recipe. I'm gonna check that out as well. Ooh, what a simple salmon patty recipe. Okay, back to what I was looking for, meatloaf. Carrot meatloaf. That is interesting. Alright, now will I follow this recipe? Probably not, but I'll use it as a guide. I use my mason jars to measure everything. Alright, the first thing that we need for these meatloafs that I'm going to make is 1.5 pounds of ground beef. I'm going to use 1.5 pounds of venison. I let this thaw overnight. I have 2 pounds of meat here. So what I'm going to do with the other 1/2 pound is form it into 2 patties. And these are going to be for some burgers that we'll have. I actually have right behind you in the bread maker some dough that I'm going to turn into hamburger buns. I'm just going to add those burger patties right into this container, and then those will be ready to cook either tonight or tomorrow. I'm just going to get all of these meals ready so that when my husband comes home, he can choose whichever dinner he wants, and then we'll make that. It'll all be ready for me. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. All right, now that my hands are clean, I'm going to get everything into this bowl before I get them dirty again. So I have a whole egg. I have 3/4 cup of Italian breadcrumbs. That's just what I had on hand. You can also use oatmeal. That's what the recipe calls for, but you know. Some salt. Some pepper. We love our pepper. It says 1 cup of water. I'm going to add in 1 cup of milk. And of course, I'm going to just make my own milk from some milk powder. There's 1 cup of milk, 3 tablespoons of ketchup. I'm using jalapeno ketchup. Now this says add 1/4 cup of finely minced onions. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add like almost a full tablespoon of just minced onions, dehydrated minced onions. This is more for my husband. I love onions in my meals, but he's just simply not a fan. Let's get to forming this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up, then I'm going to add it into my dish. I'm going to add a little bit more breadcrumbs. Alright, I'm adding in some more breadcrumbs. About 1/4 cup more, and then that should be good. Nice. Alright, now let's make our sauce for our loaf. Worcestershire sauce. Honestly, I should have added that into the meatloaf. About 1/2 cup of ketchup. That was about 1/3 cup of ketchup. I'm going to add about the same of the barbecue sauce. my homemade brown sugar. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of that. I need to make sure that I show you guys how to make that. This is going to be delicious. There's 2 dinners. All right, and for the chicken, all right, for this chicken, I'm going to take some of this honey mustard, plop some in there. I'm also gonna add just a little bit of maple syrup and a little bit of barbecue sauce. I don't know why, just because it was sitting there. And I am just going to let this marinate. I have no clue how good this is going to be, but I bet it'll turn out pretty decent. So that's our 3rd protein for dinner. It's already prepared. All right, I have my burgers ready. I was gonna make mini meatloafs, but I ended up just making a regular size meatloaf. I have my chicken marinating. Now all I need to do is get my buns ready and baked, and then we should be good. Ooh, so a little more sticky than normal. I am going to leave the recipe for this dough down below. I made it super simple by just tossing the ingredients into the bread machine and letting the machine do the work for me. This is only the 3rd time that I am making this, but I am absolutely obsessed with it. So I highly recommend this recipe. I have no clue what these are, but I am going to let these rise for an hour and then I'll see you when they are finished. Also, I like to cover mine with plastic wrap because I'm nosy and I will peek every 5 minutes otherwise. All right, let's do an egg wash on top of these buns. All right, these have been rising for about an hour now. I have the oven preheating to 400 degrees. What I'm going to do is I'm going to egg wash all but these 2 buns, and then we're gonna put these in the oven for about 12 minutes. And this will help those sesame seeds stick. All right, I plan to make like loaded hot dogs in these. You know what? We're gonna do an egg wash. We'll make some fancy dogs. And I have these sesame seeds that I'm going to add on top. We're gonna bake these. Oh, perfect timing. These were in for 16 minutes. Perfect. All right, I just chopped up 2 potatoes, and now I'm going to rinse them in cold water. Then I'm going to dry them Then I'm going to make sure that they're completely dry, and then I'll meet back up with you. Alright, I have this gourmet burger seasoning. What I'm going to do is season both sides of these burgers. I'm going to leave the bigger one in here for my husband's dinner because he's going to be a little late home from work. Alright, I am going to toss these potatoes in here. Have a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt. Now I'm just going to keep that super simple. I'm going to make sure every little piece has a little bit of oil. Now my air fryer is preheating at 380 degrees, and I will cook these at 380 for 14 to 16 minutes. All right, my air fryer has preheated. I'm going to make sure they are in a single layer. All right, my cast iron pan is smoking, so I need to give you some light. Oh yeah, smoke it. Nice. Now I know this is going to cook fast. So I got some cheese, that's Havarti cheese. Alright, I'm going to let this rest for a few minutes. Now, for my bun. Now I'm going to toast this bun up. Alright, I was going to do some barbecue sauce and fried onions, but I'm just going to do some mayonnaise on each side and keep it simple. I'm not a big mustard and ketchup gal. I wish I had lettuce, but I ate the rest in a salad last night. Oh my gosh, that looks so giant. Amazing though. Alright, let's check out these fries. Yum. This looks so delicious. And this is tonight's simple dinner. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. I'm going to add on my sauce. Now I'll just cook this for an hour and I'll uncover it for the last 20 minutes. All right, I'm going to peel these potatoes and then I'm going to add them into the Instant Pot. Honestly, I hate peeling potatoes. It's the worst. There's 1 cup of water. All right, I am going to put this on high pressure for 8 minutes. All right, I'm gonna pull this out of here. To these potatoes, I'm going to add about 5½ tablespoons of butter. If you're gonna make homemade mashed potatoes, you're gonna add a lot of butter. There's like hardly any sour cream in here, so I'm going to scrape all of that out as well. There's probably about 1/4 cup altogether. Maybe, if that. I'm going to add some salt, some garlic powder. I'm going to add like a half of a cup of milk. And with that, I'll just keep mashing until it's smooth and creamy. For the potatoes, I should have cooked them at maybe 10 or 11 minutes high pressure instead of 8. So next time I'll make sure I do that. I haven't made Instant Pot mashed potatoes in years, so I need to perfect it. But these were absolutely delicious. Alright, I have my meatloaf. I have my mashed potatoes. And my peas. And that is what's for dinner tonight. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload my next video. Thank you so much for watching.